Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance, everybody. My name is Christopher Bell. I'm a certified CPA accountant. I'm a long-term boglehead investor. I'm author of the book Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon. Go buy it so I can get dindies, chicken dindies, and probably pay half of it in taxes, but whatever. And I'm not a big fan of millennial money. Now, there was something recently said on millennial money, and it used to be Graham, Andre Deek, LaFufu, and Meat Breath. But then Meat Breath got kicked off because he's trash. So now it's just the three clowns, the three amigos, the three bozos. A lot of people have been telling me to watch this video roughly at the end because Jeremy Financial Education says something very interesting. He mentions my favorite ETF. The VT ETF, mother effer! Yeah, baby! Woo! That's right. I love it. It's delicious. So let's see what Jeremy has to say. And I'm going to respond to this because I think he's a freaking moron and he proved it again. And then I'm going to show you my returns that I've gotten with the VT ETF, or the equivalent. And we'll see who's speaking the truth. We'll see who understands how to actually build wealth. Let's go, LaFufu. Action.
I think there's a couple things that I think people don't realize with folks like Jeremy Grantham and maybe others that make, these.
All right, for context, they're talking about Jeremy Grantham. I don't really know who he is. I don't care. I actually don't follow big-time investors or, like, billionaires because half the time they're full of crap and they're morons, okay? Oh, but they're billionaires. I don't care. A lot of the times they do stupid crap like pump cryptocurrencies. Just proves to me they're freaking morons like everybody else in the stock market. But they're talking about Jeremy Grantham, who I guess is predicting a stock market crash. And Jeremy's responding and talking about why, he's not a big fan of Jeremy Grantham. Let's listen.
These crazy, super bubble comparisons and, we're going to crash and all those things. One is, I think some of these guys really think about their legacy. And they want to be that guy that like called it, right? Like, oh, I told you it was going to skyrocket. Like, think about Michael Burry. He made the housing market call, and now everybody knows Michael Burry that's in the financial markets. Like, oh, that's the guy that called the housing bubble. He had a movie made about him, Big Short, and people.
There's going to be a movie made about me. The guy that called out the grifters on YouTube and won. I've already slain one dragon. Partially. He's back already. But, but I'm going to be that guy. Just watch.
Think about that from a legacy perspective, right? Second thing is, with somebody like a Jeremy Grantham, he's a strict value investor with value stocks. And so somebody like him can become very, very jaded in this sort of market like we've had over the last decade plus, where he sees, what's happened with Netflix and Tesla and Amazon and all these innovative companies that have prospered. And you can
Tesla! La Tesla! Una Tesla de la Tesla. I had to say it.
Become very, very jaded. Even if you look at something like VT, right? Which is
Wait, what? Look at something like what? VT? Now, the first thing that made me laugh when he started talking about VT, where do you think he heard about VT from? Do you think Jeremy even knew VT existed before he watched a certain someone's channel? No. So this is almost like a direct response to somebody who looks very similar to me. The fact that he mentioned VT is freaking awesome. That tells me they're watching my freaking channel. And you're a bunch of losers. Anyway, let's continue. What does he have to say about VT?
Total stock market index worldwide, right? Something like that's barely doubled in the past decade plus. Meanwhile, you've had these tremendous companies, 5x, 10x, 15x, 20x their stock prices, and you can become very, very jaded very, very fast.
I'm so jaded, bro. Oh my God, I'm so jaded. So apparently Jeremy LaFufu, who watches my videos, you think he knew what VT was before he saw me? Yeah, I knew what VT was. Yeah, okay. So apparently he thinks I'm jaded because I doubled my money. Actually, I doubled it faster than the last decade. But I doubled my money in the last decade. You mean to tell me that I doubled my money in the last decade? I wonder how the average investor does. The average investor who listens to losers like Jeremy LaFufu, who buy trash, unprofitable small cap growth stocks and YOLO into a bunch of highly speculative trash in the hopes of 10xing. And he also mentioned a bunch of stocks that did extraordinarily well. And it's basically a lie, because while some stock, I mean, you know, how indexes work, you're not going to beat every freaking stock. You never will beat, you will never like outperform every single stock buying a freaking index, because you obviously have companies that have underperformed and some that have overperformed. But he's basically implying that if you were smart like him, you buy 5, 10, 15x stocks in their infancy, and then you would have made way better returns in the index. That isn't how it works, ladies and gentlemen. That is not in any way how it works. The vast majority of people who buy into stocks like Tesla, Amazon, whatever other freaking stocks he mentioned, they usually do it after the massive run-up because they're freaking clueless on how to actually build wealth, okay? There's very few people who bought Amazon in the early 2000s and are still holding on to it today, okay? So I think it's hilarious that he's implying, or he said it outright, that people like me are jaded because some other stocks 5, 10, 15x. Oh, and by the way, I also own those stocks in my index funds, you freaking loser. I'm so jaded. Oh my God, I'm gonna go punch myself in the face after this video. So here he is bashing the index. And he's like, oh, well, I'm an individual stock picker, and I can pick stocks like La Tesla, which I didn't put a lot of money into, even though I knew it was going to 10x. But then I said in my video when I invested that I, was just doing it as a speculative bet. Oh, and I bought Tattooed Chef, which has just crushed it. And I bought Corsair, which is just, I've blown it out of the water. And I bought Honest, which is also crushing it. And Nat Stock and Smile Direct Club. I'm just a genius, bro. Why buy a boring index when you would just only double your money in a decade? Wow, man, doubling my money sounds horrible. Now, let's go look at my returns that I have gotten in Vanguard, okay? So here's my account balance. This is a target retirement fund in a taxable account, which was stupid, but whatever. So from 2014 to 2022, so over the last 8 years roughly, I have gotten an annualized 11.6 rate of return. Do you want to know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because I bought into it and I did not freaking sell ever. I just let it ride. And my portfolio grew as the US economy grew. The global economy grew, okay? So I've invested $35,000 into this, and I've made $44,000 in investment returns. So I've more than doubled my money in less than 8 years. Oh, but Tesla. Oh, let's go look at the average investor. Okay, look at this. Doubled my money just by buying a friggin' index and not doing anything. Oh, VT, I'm so jaded. And then let's go look at how the average investor performs. 20-year annualized returns. 2.11%. All right, this is a study done from the time period between 1996 and 2015. And it's common sense to me. This is so true. You gotta be like, what's the source? What's the source? Think about it. Look at all the clowns on YouTube that made all the money in the bull market and then freaking lost it all with this correction, okay? Your performance is judged over time. It's not judged in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years or 4. It's judged over decades. If you have good returns or you match the market over decades, you are going to freaking annihilate people like Jeremy Lefebvre and his stupid fans that are roughly getting 2.11%. I mean, look at this. U.S. stocks did 8.19% annualized. U.S. bonds, wow, they actually beat international stocks. And then the average investor got 2.11. 8.19 to 2.11 over 20 years is freaking huge. It's not just 6%. It's you're getting 8% per year. 8%, 8%, 8%, 8%, 8%, as opposed to 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%. You see how the compounding effect of getting 8% by just buying the market will freaking massively crush buying individual stocks like Jeremy wants you to do and getting 2.11% returns? So yeah, Jeremy, I'm so jaded, bro. Look at this horrible performance. I basically invested. I just put money into this. And then I went to the bar. And I drank. And then I hung out and, I don't know, went to Austin. I didn't even think about the stock market. I didn't watch the CPI data. I didn't try to time the market. I didn't stress. I just put money into it. And the funny thing is, So I actually got divorced. Let's see. Where was it? Right here? Yeah, I actually got divorced and like I lost half. So this account would have been double that if I hadn't got divorced. But yeah, because like I remember like looking at my account and then I split the our assets got split in half and it literally got cut in half and it was a very sad moment for me. But hey, whatever. Look at that. $44,000 I've made by doing freaking nothing. I've more than doubled my money in less than 10 years with VT. Which this is basically the equivalent of VT in mutual fund form with some bonds thrown in. Wow, I'm just such a loser. And people like Jeremy who get 2.11%, they're just better than me. Anyway, that's it. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about me. Max your tax advantage accounts by Total World Index funds. Don't try to time the market. Stay consistent, and you will crush freaking losers like this clown right here and Andre Deek. Choose!